Cyberpunk 2077 came out in December 2020, right? And I have been through an arduous journey, painstakingly documenting these patches. 2.0 is the biggest, and it's got something that changes everything.
We'll be right there. Suspect's vehicle has been located. Details have been sent.
Vehicle combat is here, both in cars and on bikes. Now this is huge. I thought these changes were only coming with the paid DLC, not with the base level version of the game. So let's be clear on that. 2.0 includes this in-car combat. It absolutely rocks. You can also do hacking, and the police are no longer useless. By God, are we at the Mecca. I put a tweet out last night calling out IGN, GameSpot and that blasted Rad Brad about all that shillery that they pulled early doors before the game was officially released, and I still have a grudge against those sites. I think they should have been reprimanded for that. I am Couch Coop, by the way, and I can't drive these cars. That's been in place since around 1.6 because they really refined the controls, and I'm so used to just slapping the accelerator, whacking on the brake. I'm used to there only being one brake. You also have X as a handbrake style, and I'm pretty convinced we've got a third view, meaning a very far away toggle on the directional button. I think it's the right hand clicker. All of this footage is ray trace mode on. It did upload at 60 frames per second. I'm not going to ask any questions, but we're sitting at 1080 on the capture. Now let's look at the hacking. So this is the chronological series of events. I don't normally read patch notes. I know it sounds daft, but I like to see what jumps out at me on initial installation. And I was looking at the hacking ability, slowing down the cars, trying to pinpoint someone within a car. It was hugely difficult. I ran over 3 pedestrians here, and this is the first time I've realised I'm dealing with a different animal here. It was the criminal gangs that had a huge fight with the police that were supposed to be coming after me. Now this has happened before, but it's never been so well orchestrated and hectic at the same time. It was a massive gang police war because this occurred in the Chinatown area, and of course they're defending their patch, and there was just a big exchange going. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Just back to the vehicles very quickly. I wanted to double check if they've removed some of that jank when you're taking over a vehicle, putting out the pedestrian or NPC rather. That's kind of a lot smoother. There was some real issues with stealing a car, transitioning into getting into a car, but everything is smooth as hell. The car personalities also, that came in a lot earlier with patches, but it's just still great to feel the back wheels unlock, everything just have a bit more of a 3-dimension when it comes to the control method and the feedback of the vehicle itself. Talking of feedback, we now get annoying stuff coming out of the pad. I'm not a big fan. And they did fix the day-night transition, no longer bleached white when you do the manual select skip time. That one was huge for me. It just would baffle me how on earth it would become this huge white screen and then slowly settle in. Now let's talk about the in-car abilities. You can see me desperately trying to target a police officer here. You can get them through the windscreen. I managed to get a ping, but getting anything else on a hack level was really difficult. But for me, I didn't realise that this is just stage 1 of the interaction within the vehicle itself. Things began to escalate as they normally do, and the first thing I thought was, what is that bike? That's a police bike. Brand new vehicle, brand new outfit on that dude as well. Murdered immediately. Bike obviously getting stolen, and this is where it happened. It was by complete accident. The innocent passenger copped a few there, and I'm gibbering now with excitement. I can't believe it. This has crept right up on me because I've avoided all of the PR and media about this patch. There goes a cop on the other side of the road. This is the stuff of dreams for me. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime. I wanted to transition off the bike to see how easy it was to sort of get back on, what they prioritised, did they split up, and they're okay. You saw a bit of jank on that policeman getting out of his vehicle, but this is so much better than the pop in and sort of walk straight towards you system we saw in earlier patches.
Got a hit! All nearby units.
Getting that shot on my exit, just eliminating him as the last problem before I head down and sort of hunt some more policemen down, was a gaming moment I won't forget this year. It was pretty phenomenal, and I think there's a lot of that emotion because I've been held back from a mode like this. Look at these guys. Getting knocked off your bike is also more of a thing. And I was getting that, just you wait, like you get in GTA when all your shit's all over the shop and you just got to pull it all together and go back and get them. I knew what I needed to do, and I loved watching them split up on that mini-map. Look, there's 3 dots coming round. One of them goes back to the pack. The other 2 come around that corner, a lot more aggressive and a lot more organised. They also implement those chappy robots. These were so cool, not used enough. They just stood in front of doorways. The police didn't really call them in, but yeah, one comes wandering around the corner, gives me a right headache. Absolutely beautiful stuff. I also think there's a little bit more depth behind that police alert system with some vision circles, and if you get in them, you don't get rid of your wanted status. It's a little bit beefier than before. You have to forgive, because the last time I in-depth reviewed a patch was 1.61, so I'm falling off my chair all over the shop, and I'll tell you exactly what this implementation of vehicular combat has done is made me want to go through all of the new gigs and target any missions or content that are going to include this in-car vehicle combat. Now, I did want to check you can actually steal and use your gun from inside cars, and of course you can. And there's another thing, and you may not realize that you can look behind on this game, clicking in R3 whilst driving along. L3 does a center camera, which is doing my nut in, but if you're getting chased, you can now fire out the back of your car a la GTA. Now, that was something I've been asking for since the 80s, it feels like. Because I'm so wrapped up in this new vehicle combat model, I'm not paying attention to any of the minor changes or graphical improvements. Now, this is definitely something. The RT mode, or the ray tracing mode, is running so well, there's no way at any point I feel the need to go over to performance. It's crystal, it's absolutely crisp and smooth, and I'm so happy with just sticking on that function. Talking of functions, I call in the bike. Okay, I was gonna say best of 3 on this one. First time it fell down a hole that I couldn't see, which apparently was 100 meters away. Second time it did roll up to me. So, you know, Rome wasn't built in a day. I also saw a bit more freak weather. No actual rain, still haven't got to see those NPC umbrellas yet, but I welcomed this dune-like sand coming into the sea. I mean, look at the draw distance, it's completely gone. It did my head in a bit because I'm like, I want to get some good daytime footage of the city, had to get the storm out of the way, but those interchangeables were certainly not around at the birth of this game, or even after a year. I'm also revisiting a lot of the stuff that I just staggered through when I first played this game. Incidentally, I finished this game in 2001 on the PlayStation 4 Pro, started a new save on the 5, and then another new save on the official 5 version of the game. So I'm quite well versed with this starter area, but it really does look great now, and everybody has got something else to say. There's sort of more of an angle on what these NPCs are going on about. Now, let's quickly look at that button change. So triangle is what you use to toggle a weapon when you're in a vehicle, and you can also aim with L1 and fire with R1. So you do have to release the accelerator and brake to a certain extent, completely borrowed from GTA, but it was totally needed to increase the excitement. Going to select a blatantly two-handed weapon like a shotgun or an assault rifle will give you a blocked action notification, but it's a green light on pistols and SMGs, and leave that one with me because there's probably some absolutely juicy stuff that you can fire from your vehicle. Wow, what a door opener. Also, having those button changes, having the option for a brake rear and front, especially on a motorcycle, and these lovely views. They haven't kept that twist round on the camera when you start looking at different angles. It doesn't default to behind the car all the time, and this is so welcome. I am going to find myself in that photo mode a lot. I've spared you guys for this video because it's something else I'll get to. I just didn't get time, so gobsmacked for all these 2.0 changes. Is there anything this patch has mucked up or reduced? Is there frame rates dropping, or is there a problem with the Goldfish Roundabout? No. This is the game we were supposed to get, I feel, back in 2020. The tech was there to do it. They obviously were just 3 years behind development, but if you've never stepped into Cyberpunk 2077, you're in for one hell of a treat now. This is a full-blown, working, amazing sandbox game, and it's going to climb up the ranks on CDPR's game roster because I feel this has certainly stepped it up a huge notch. I say game roster, 3 Witcher games and this to a certain extent, but this is now sort of nudged its way closer to The Witcher 3 as far as I'm concerned. We do have a bit of abrasion on the vehicle itself at the back there. Sometimes at dusk, the lights, things start to sort of double up. But by the way, and didn't mention it really, but the combat's fixed now. They're super tough. They do not take any crap, the NPCs. Still caught a tiny bit of vehicle popping because I am Couch Coop and I am YouTube's best kept secret. So of course, if you like this, you want to see the backlog of them, I'll put them all in description for patch review. I will see you down there.
Time to put the game face on, buddies.